What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 tech features inside the 2020 Hyundai Palisade. All right, guys, so number 1 is that 12.3-inch digital dash. Now, I've talked about this in my Sonata video and my overview video, but this thing is amazing. Basically, it's beautiful high-resolution screen, some really nice clear information. You get some really cool animations when you switch driving modes. You've got the blind spot monitor assist camera system on there, all kinds of good stuff right here on this 12.3-inch screen. So let's kind of just walk through it a little bit. Now, if you use the controls on the steering wheel, you can actually switch the contents on the screen. So using this button here right above cruise, you can go over to the adaptive cruise control system. You can view trip information. You can see how many miles left till empty. You can see your attention level indicator, which I've talked about in this video. You can see your tire pressure, what drive mode you're in. You can actually see the amount of work that one tire is doing versus the other. Sure, I guess, cool. And then you can see, what safety systems are engaged and that kind of stuff. Of course, you can use your automatic or your adaptive cruise control, and you can see, set how far away you want to be from the vehicle in front of you, all that kind of good stuff right on this beautiful screen. Like I mentioned, you can also, when you're engage your turn signal, you can see what's directly in your blind spot without turning your head at all. It's right on the screen here, which I love. So really cool, 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster right here. So that is number 1. Now, number 2 is the 10.25-inch Infotainment Center. Now, I've talked about it extensively in other videos, but real quick, you do get these nice panels that you can kind of divide up and make whatever custom way you want. You have your navigation, so that is built in here on the Limited. Again, I did want to mention this is the Limited trim, so everything I talk about is going to be on the Limited, but sometimes are available on lower trims as well. So navigation is awesome. It gives you the pinch to zoom, and you can get rid of that third panel too. Pinch to zoom feature, really fluid, nice navigation system. And I'm not a big fan of in-vehicle navigation systems, but this one's nice. Other than that, you have phone, which gives you Bluetooth connection, radio, which gives you AM, FM, Sirius, XM, all that good stuff. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, voice memos. So you can record yourself a little voice memo, a little pick-me-up, or grocery list or something a little more practical. You can do Blue Link, you can do media, so that's Bluetooth connectivity, USB audio, things like that. Now, 2 cool things on here, driver talk and quiet mode. Talked about this in my overview. So real quickly, driver talk basically uses the microphones and sends your audio to the back seats. So if you need to tell your kid in the back seat to zip it, you can do it without turning around, putting yourself in danger, the passengers in danger, but still be able to yell at them if you want to. Additionally, you've got rear climate controls here right on the menu system, so you can lock, unlock, and control everything that goes on in the back seats if it's getting a little bit out of hand back there. And then you've got driving info, which is going to give you vehicle information, speed distribution, all that kind of good stuff. And then setup, which is going to give you more details. Now, inside those more details, you can do things like adjusting the EQ of your sound system, changing the color of the ambient lighting, and all kinds of good stuff. Adjusting the blue tint of the screen, which I really like, the ability to do that. I've only ever seen that on Hyundai, so it's a great feature. But all kinds of good stuff on that 10.25 Infotainment Center. Additionally, it has the surround vision camera system. So when in reverse, you can see your backup camera, you can change to a top-down view, you can see a split view of your rear tires, then you can see the 360-degree view on the right side. If we go to neutral, you can actually see your front camera, straight down view of your front camera, and then your front tires with that split view. So super cool surround vision system, all accessible right on this big, beautiful screen. One other cool thing you can do with it is, I've got a little cord here that I can actually plug it in and show you, but Apple CarPlay does not always take full advantage of different screen sizes. So for example, in the 2020 Subaru Outback, it has a huge 11.6-inch screen, vertical screen though. And Apple CarPlay only takes up about a 6-inch space on that screen. So it's essentially pointless to get the bigger screen on an Outback because if you only use Apple CarPlay, I should say. If you're specifically using Apple CarPlay, it's pointless to get that big 11.6-inch screen because you don't get to take full advantage of it. Here you do. So if you've got Apple CarPlay, allow right here, opened up, and you go back to, let's go to Park here. Next on the Apple CarPlay, good stuff. Go ahead and open that up. boom, we get to take full advantage of that 10.25-inch display, and it looks fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Apple CarPlay here in Hyundais because of how nice, clean, fluid the Apple CarPlay system looks. And I swear to you, this refresh rate on this display is higher than any I've seen on any other vehicles, especially at this price point. It's beautiful, super smooth. You guys are gonna love using not only the built-in Infotainment Center, but also Apple CarPlay here on the Palisade. Now, number 3 is the Qi-enabled wireless charging pad. Now, again, we are dealing with the limited here, so not every model is going to have this wireless charging pad, but if you do have one, which this one does, it is found inside this compartment here. If it's closed like this, hit the push button, pretty obvious, and you can drop your phone right down in there, right on the pad. It's even got a little cutout there, so it's really hard to miss where you're supposed to put it. But I've got an iPhone 11 Pro Max here, so this does have wireless charging. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it right down there, set it on the pad, give it about 3 seconds, and boom, there it is. It is now charging on that Qi-enabled wireless charging pad. It'll give you a little notification light here saying that it's charging, and you don't have to worry about trying to plug it into the USB ports. Luckily, there are plenty, so if you do need to plug it in that way and want to use CarPlay or something like that, you can do that as well. Now, number 4 has to do with the surround vision camera that we've kind of already mentioned, but it is the blind spot monitor assist. And that basically uses the cameras on the side mirrors to give you a clear look at your blind spot right on that digital dash that we talked about earlier. So how you access that is just by hitting the turn signal, either one, left or right, and boom, it's gonna show you right there on the screen what is in your blind spot. And it is amazing for not having to turn your head, not having to do the little shoulder peek, all the things we're used to doing. It's just right there on the screen. Easy, accessible, super convenient. I love that feature. It works both ways. Like I said, left or right, any way you need it. And once I used this for the first time, and I actually used it for the first time on the 2020 Sonata, but I know it's a thing that Hyundai's incorporating into all their new vehicles. And I've got to say, once you drive a vehicle that has this feature, it's really hard to go back. I wouldn't be surprised, and I hope and pray that every car manufacturer going forward that incorporates high-end safety systems like this has a system just like this one, because it's fantastic. It takes all the guesswork out of everything, and that working in conjunction with the other safety systems that this vehicle has, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, the 5th and final tech feature here on the Palisade is the heads-up display. Now, this heads-up display gives you your adaptive cruise control, all your blind spot monitoring safety systems, your speed, and it gives you all of that in a very clear and concise way without cluttering up the screen. Now, there are some heads-up displays that give you way too much information for the tiny space that is allotted for it. Not enough information, which is never good, but this one just has the exact right amount. And everything is somewhat, customizable within the settings, but for the most part, you don't really even need to mess with it. It gives you everything you need to know. I've got the adaptive cruise control up there right now. I've got my miles per hour. If someone gets in my blind spot, it tells me right in front of it without me having to look over at the mirror here and see that my blind spot indicator is on, or look to see if there's a car in my blind spot. I just keep staring straight ahead where I'm already looking, and boom, it tells me right on the screen there. So I love that, the heads-up display here on the Palisade and on Hyundais in general. Hyundai's just been doing things right, and people need to start noticing. All right, guys, and those are the top 5 tech features inside the 2020 Hyundai Palisade. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below which one's your favorite, or did I miss one that is your favorite? Let's have a conversation about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see our full review of every 2020 Hyundai model as soon as it hits our lots. We'll see you in the next one.